Cool. How's it going, everyone? My name's Chase. I'm with a store called TC's Rockets down in San Diego. Down here, we sell all kinds of things. We have comics, we have toys, we also hold gaming tournaments. Right now, we can't just because of everything going on, but we're doing pretty good. We've been around for about 5 years now. It's it's fun to be able to work at a comic book store and just to be a part of it and all the culture and everything like that. And then not only do we have a comic book store, we also have a comic convention called San Diego RocketCon, and that's a yearly event we put on. Originally we were supposed to have it on March 21st and 22nd of this year, and then probably about like a week and a half before we were forced to push it back for obvious reasons. Push it back to August 1st and 2nd, and then now recently we're gonna push it all the way back to January 23rd and 24th. So it was a little bit of a setback, but it's like nice to know that like everyone's gonna be safe and pushing it all the way back that far. But today I just kind of wanted to tell you like about my store, kind of what we do, and then just show you some action figures, and then I'm gonna like pose them because we also do like in the store we have a YouTube channel that TCS Rockets, and we'll do Match of the Gathering videos like deck techs, things like that. But then we'll also do action figure reviews. So I was just gonna do some live ones. Usually Steve does them, but today I'll just do them for you. Actually, my first one. So, do you have any comments on like kind of how I'm doing it? Like, feel free to tell me what you think. I'm always open to any kind of criticism, constructive criticism, of course. Um, and I mean, I'll go ahead and just kind of show you some stuff that I got. I mean, so I have a few figures here. I'm gonna start with the Red Ranger, right? So this one is a Comic Con exclusive from where was it from? Oh, it was just a 25th anniversary exclusive. And SH Figure Arts is a great company. They have like super articulated figures. So I won't open this one because it's sealed, and we don't open sealed figures. But this one is signed by Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger, which one day Derek will get me a contact to him so I can have him at my convention. At you, Derek. It's really cool. Bandai's a great company. It was actually a little story about it. Is one time, 2 years ago at San Diego Comic Con, we were offered a booth from Bandai to basically be like a satellite booth for them, where essentially we were given all of their overflow product and we just sold all that at the show. So I was given free passes to San Diego Comic Con, was able to sit at a booth all day, talk about toys, Bandai toys, and just chill out all day. It was honestly one of the coolest experiences ever. It was a lot of work. It was because you had to get there at 7 a.m. and you were there until like 8 p.m. So there was that. But I mean, like all in all, like great experience. Absolutely loved it. And it's just kind of things like that that the store does. Like we'll try to go do conventions. We host our own convention, things like that. Um, yeah. So I mean, cool figure. Nothing much crazy about it. If you are interested in this figure, it is on our eBay store, which would be TCS Rockets 15. I'm going to show you a few items from the store as well, and then I'll go over some like loose items I have in the store. And you can always message us on Facebook. TCS Rockets 15 is the page name, and you can message us, check out the figures, and I can get back to you on like if we still have it in stock, how much it might cost, or other things you might be looking for, of course. Let's see. Let's do a generic Captain America one, right? So I'll go ahead and move the camera down on it. You can see that. And this one is from like the Marvel Classics. It is, let me move it down a little more. They have the Marvel Legends 6-inch scale, and then they also have like a few times they've done these like classic series where they have these big gray cards, which are basically just kind of like revisions of older cards that they've done in the past. And that's where this one's from. Again, 6-inch scale. The articulation on it isn't great, but I'm going to go ahead and check out a little bit of it. So I was playing with this one a little bit before I started streaming, and I really like just wasn't super hyped about it. I have to have him throwing. The cool thing about this is it's actually two different pieces. So let me take this apart if it wants to do it. Right, so boom. Most Captain Americas have the same kind of shield where you could have it on like, flipped like this. That's actually kind of tough. Or you can have it on his wrist, right? Or you can have this little peg, and usually on the back, yeah, see right there, the little star? You can put it right there, and then now you have it on his back. So always a cool thing with Captain America figures. They're always a pretty basic mold, just because of like he's just a muscular dude. Nothing crazy about him. But yeah, I'm gonna have him throwing this shield, which is cool. It's kind of cool. You can tilt this up and down. It's connected to the hand. But let me put this shield back in there. Let me pull off this hand. Of course, I'd like the thumbs to know which hand's which. So here we go, putting this in there. Cool. So now we have him throwing his shield, but now we obviously got to pose him throwing his shield. So I'm going to mess with this a little bit. Bear with me. Whenever I like start posing figures, I always try to think of like realism, of course. So like I'll sit here and I'll like I can move this. I'll like imagine myself throwing the shield. Of course, I can't throw the shield, but you kind of like I imagine myself rotating my body, kind of like throwing like a disc, of course. And I can imagine my arm being like a counterweight out here, my other arm in front. So that's kind of what I'm going to aim for on this first pose. So again, his arm's going to be out front, and we have the other arm kind of back here as this like counterweight. And he's going to be facing where he's throwing, because obviously that's the whole point of throwing it. But see, I think that that's like too high, so we're going to bring that down a little bit. And of course, you want to have a good stance, otherwise it's just going to fall over. It's always my like least favorite part about posing figures. So not super happy with this. He just seems like he's not really doing anything. It just seems like he's standing there throwing this thing. So we're going to kind of like tilt him forward, because he's got to throw it in front of him, right? And I'm going to throw this arm even more back. So I don't like these joints as much. I like the joint in the head. It's a ball joint. But then there's these clicky joints, if you can hear them. There's just not... I don't like those, because now you're also kind of forced, right? So I want him hunched over, kind of throwing the shield, but I can't bring his head high enough to kind of throw... to show him throwing the shield. So a lot of weight in the front. It's really tough. We're going to kind of throw this arm back there. I'm kind of okay with this. It's not great, but I mean, hey, it's our first one, so we'll get better as we go. And of course, it's always a learning experience for me. See how that is. And we're... oh, shit. Yeah, so he really wants to tilt forward, so not a big fan of how, like, long this thing is. Yeah, I really don't want to spend forever trying to do this one guy. Yeah, so I'm just going to give up on this one. I'm not even going to try. Not a big fan of this guy. He is just so front heavy, and then I think I would honestly need an action figure base below him in order to hold him up, which of course is like nice if you have them, but like I feel like we shouldn't be forced to buy these action figure stands to do like decent poses they're going to give us these things for. If I was getting like custom pieces, then sure, then I'll get a stand too, because I'm altering the figure from its original. For it to be like this and not be able to just kind of stand up and have like that kind of action throwing pose, I'm not down for that one. So I'm going to take this shield back off, put his hand back on, and move on to the next one. This next one I thought was a little flavorful because it is the Red Psycho Ranger. And for anyone who knows about San Diego RocketCon, one of our guests is Patrick David, who is the Red Psycho Ranger. So we're going to kind of play with this one. I really don't know too much about Power Rangers. Derek can attest to that. And I'm going to have him kind of holding the sword, maybe, kind of like a some kind of action pose, of course. So it's cool that like I can easily put both hands on the sword. I might be able to get him kind of like striking. Here, let's do it like this, because I'm going to assume he's right-handed. Most people are. I think I can make that assumption. Put it in there. Dude, these Power Ranger figures, I've never really moved them, but these joints are amazing. Like, they easily like can move anywhere I want them to, and they like stay there. That's like pretty crazy. Big fan of that. So we're gonna kind of have like this like karate chop motion, and generally I would assume you have this kind of hand out. Or let's do it kind of like that. Yeah. That's kind of a funny pose. I'll live with this one. So obviously, like the way this thing's balanced is like pretty nice. Actually, I have this cool figure stand. I just got it in on Amazon, $30, and I'm going to use it because I think it's really cool. So we're going to press this button. That is the coolest thing ever. I know it is. You can't tell me different. So now we're going to I'm going to take this camera off and show you some close-ups of it. So here, let me do this. cool figure, really down. And like I think it's kind of funny that I put like this weird. I don't even know how to like explain it. It just kind of seems like he's rocking out, you know, leaning back into it, and I'm like pretty big fan of this figure. And of course, if you're a fan of this figure as well, and you always want to get signed, you can always go to San Diego RocketCon where Patrick David will be there. Super cool guy. Absolutely love talking to him. I haven't met him yet, but he's an absolute wonder to work with. But yeah, so this is the Red Cycle Ranger, and they've done a bunch of other Rangers as well. This is a uh, Hasbro one, the Lightning Collection. They're pretty new. The old Bandai ones I was showing you, they're newer, but they're not as new as these ones. These ones are in like the recent year, and so this one I think you can only get out of a 2-pack with. I think I want to say it was a Green Ranger, Jason David Frank. I think it's those two, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Take this guy off. Really sick figure stand. I honestly like. I'll have figures just rotating on my. I like the past few days just rotating all over my desk. Okay. On to the next one. Let's do. Do Superman and Bizarro. So. Oh, that's kind of cool because now we can do two and kind of have them fighting each other. These ones, DC doesn't do like. Hasbro has much better figures, in my opinion, than DC, but Marvel also does a lot more than DC, and that's the thing. It's probably because they're hooked up with Hasbro. I'm talking about Marvel, and so like DC doesn't have as many chances. And what's weird about the DC ones usually is that they'll do them in a weird scale. These ones aren't in a weird scale. They're 6-inch scale, which is like what most people want. Generally, sometimes they'll do like these weird 7-inch or even 8-inch ones, and honestly, like not a big fan of those at all. So I love this like mean face on Superman. Really cool. You can try to like. Let me think. So obviously, Bizarro's like angry. He's gonna be trying to like swing at this dude. Let's kind of maybe we can have him holding him. That'd be kind of an interesting one. Where he's like trying to fly away or something. So I wish his head could rotate a little bit more, because like I feel like if this guy's flying, it just seems like a weird angle. Like if I could just go like just a little bit more, I could get like a cool like flying thing from him. But it's all good. I'm not gonna complain too much because I feel like that right there is pretty decent. But I want to see if I can like have him hold him in the air. I'd feel pretty successful about myself if I could. Okay. He's I have him in the arms. It looks like they're kind of dancing, like a ballet or what was it? Figure ice skate? I can't. But the one where you're figure skating. So maybe that's the kind of thing we'll go for. We'll go for like a dramatic. So where's he want to tilt? He wants to tilt backwards. So we got to kind of put some more oomph in the front. It's too much oomph. Maybe. Okay. We got it here. Put it on my fancy spinning base, because you know I absolutely love that. We're gonna try it again, but this time we're gonna turn it off because we're gonna be smart people about this. Put it back on. Yeah, so far my like this base again, $30. Part of me wants to put like some kind of like textured larger surface on here, because while the mirror is cool, and I think this peels off, so I leave stickers on everything, every single device I get. I'll leave the stickers on them as long as possible. I have Xbox headphones that I've had for like 4 years, still has the stickers on them, because then all of a sudden, like tonight, I can go home, peel them off, and it looks brand new, and it makes me feel good about myself. So I still have the plastic on here. but it's really smooth. So obviously when I'm doing it on this playmat, it's easier for the figure to stand, but they're more slippery if I leave them on here. And it does different motions too. So like if you have it in your house, but you only want like a front thing. So let me kind of give you an example. I'll just kind of go ahead and put Bizarro. Come on, buddy. Work with me. His left foot is really wonky. It like doesn't want to turn. Like if you can kind of see this weird angle, they're like tilting out, and it's not allowing me to have him like stand up like flat on a surface. So maybe I can kind of have like this like evil laugh kind of look. No, this guy's really bad at standing, or I'm just really bad at this. One of the two, but I'm gonna blame it on the stand. Okay, not. Here, let me do this. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so if you're going to get this stand, I'm going to recommend that you put some kind of thing on it. Here, let me get this thing going. So this is probably the heaviest thing that I've put on this stand so far, and it seems like it's going slower. See, look at me go. Let me go ahead and try this one more time with Superman, though. Cool. I'm cool with this one. It's not crazy. I did it super fast. But here we go again. And down here, there's some buttons. So SR would be speed. So if I press it again, it goes a little bit faster. Right? So I could have accidentally clicked it, which is why it was going a little slow. But right now I have it going in 360s, right? So it's going to go all the way around. But if I hit this button like down here, try to do it with one hand, then I think it's going to go, yeah, see, it does this weird, like, I think it's only 45 degrees. But I can't see a use of why I would want 45 degrees. So, like, does that matter? Not to me, at least. Well, I did that one, I'll probably go slower. This one should be 90 degrees. Yeah, a little more turn. Then one more. So, I mean, for $30 with, like, what it can do, I'm like, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is just should be 180s. I actually kind of watch. And if I hit it again, it should be doing 360s because I think there's, yeah, 4 different ones. And then there's a right and left. So I can have it a different way if I press this button all the way on the very left. So I think its actual price was $32.99, which I think for what I do, at least here, and if you want to display stuff, I think it's fantastic. I do think the mirror thing's cool because you can kind of see like it just gives way more depth to the character, right? So just kind of looking at it from this angle, being able to see that is pretty sweet. But I mean, for me, like I'm filming it for YouTube videos, things like that. So I don't necessarily need it to be mirrored. I'd rather just get the figure rotating. I don't need like the really super dramatic things. But like on Amazon, there was a bunch of pictures of people using it for model airplanes and things like that, which I think is really cool. And so the mirror, I think, would make more sense there. Let's see what else we got. So that was, I really wanted to pose them like fighting each other, but I might do that at the end if I still have time. But I get better as we go. This guy, oh my, yeah, I'll do this guy. So this is from Marvel. This is a Build-A-Figure. And Build-A-Figures, for anyone that doesn't know, they're also short for BAF, BAF. Essentially, you have to buy one of every figure in a certain series, and you get one piece each to put this guy together. Okay, I see that someone said that they would peel this off the very first day, and I want you to know that that really upsets me, because you need to leave things on to make sure they're brand new and shiny for when you do take them off. Because what happens when you go home and you have a really, really bad day, right? And you're so mad at the world, and then you peel off the sticker off your TV. Like I just peeled off my TV sticker the other day, and it was the most satisfying thing ever because I didn't have to clean it. But I peeled it off and it was brand new. So for anyone that would peel it off the first day, I have very little respect for you. So this is again BAF Marvel Legends. It's their newer wave. This is Sugar, To me, he's like the creepiest and scariest looking thing. Yeah, find the patience. You must. Um, he has 4 weird arms. He's from the Age of Apocalypse series, which is I never read the series. It was an older thing back in the '90s, and I think this was just one of the villains in there. But did look it up like a while ago. This is not Thor's hammer, as far as I know. It's not Milnor. It is looks just like it, but it is not Milnor. So I don't necessarily know like if this thing has powers, but it's just his normal hammer. He swings it around and stuff. Um, this guy doesn't have too much posability. You can rotate the legs a little bit. They're kind of sticky. There we go. Yeah, once you kind of get them moving, the feet move, and then of course it's cool because you can move all 4 arms. But his head, being the weird, wonky shape it is, you can't turn it anywhere. So, is it Meow Meow? I don't know what you're trying to say with Meow Meow. Yes, Meow makes more sense. Um, so let me try to pose this because honestly, there's not really much you can do with it. The guy who posed this before had this like cool like finger pointing thing going on over here, and it was just because you can kind of have like almost 2 people moving at once. So let me see. It'd be really creepy if he's like licking his hammer. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna show you like almost like a lollipop, right? His name's Sugar, so he's got to get the sugar off his tongue. Okay, so I think I would consider that him licking his hammer there, and then I wish there was a thumbs up because that'd be kind of sick to have him like thumbs up while he's licking his hammer. Um, I'm gonna leave the finger pointing because I think that's pretty sick, and then we're gonna have this like hand kind of like creeping at you. Maybe he wants a high five. Okay, let me stand this guy up. And let me get this would officially be the next heaviest thing I've ever put on a stand. So let's see what it can do. Again, putting on this perfect sticker that one day I'll take off and it'll be a perfect mirror. Okay, this thing's pretty heavy, giving it a hard time. Okay, looks like it's actually going well. I'll take it off. Let me see. Take the camera down. Show you some cool angles of this guy. So he's a cool figure. You can't do much with him. So personally, like, what's really funny is this guy was really popular, and his value is fairly high for being a brand new BAF. Surprised because he doesn't do much, but apparently he's somewhat of a fan favorite to people. He has this weird back hair. Don't like that. That's creepy. But again, in my opinion, he's like one of the creepiest dudes ever. So he's not really licking his hammer like I wanted him to. I'm not good at this. Oh, come on. Okay, that's a little bit better, you know. But yeah, so this is Sugar Man. You could call him Candyman. I swear, if you come over here and just start pulling stickers off, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can pull the sticker off. Let me see. Let me see. One of these days, I'm gonna break it. Is there no sticker on this? There might not be a sticker on this. So then I'm gonna give this thing a complaint because I can, and I'm a human being, and my opinion matters. This is like I don't know if you can see, but like the fact that this isn't like a perfect mirror to me bothers me. It's like this weird like fading thing. And if you're gonna give me a mirror, you're gonna give me a real mirror, right? But like I said, I'm gonna cover it up anyway. But the fact that there's no sticker I can peel off to make Derek, then I'm just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, it's Sugar Man. He's an okay BAF, not my favorite. But hey, like I said, to other people, he's a fan favorite, and I think he goes for like around like 120 online or something like that. Like, look at these teeth; they're creepy. Yeah, and I think the hammer's cool. I kind of like what they did with it, and like the mold and the plastics. But yeah, good paint job and everything. Love the blush, looking pretty. Okay, so next up, let me put this back. I want to do a personal favorite because I am a huge fan of Overwatch. I'm going to grab the Hasbro Reinhart. For anyone who doesn't play Overwatch, I don't know who you are in this world. But this guy is ginormous. This is everything he comes with. He comes with a shield, which is this gigantic plastic piece. Almost looks like a lid to a tote. These two little pegs that come underneath that will kind of hold it so that way it doesn't fall over if you're posing him. And then on his arm, he has this like lion, I'll say insignia, which can go on the front of the shield, like so. But of course, if you play Overwatch, then you'll know that his shield basically pops out of his arm and will go zoop. And that's where basically that will go. And then you put the lion on top because obviously it comes out from there. And then you also have his hammer. And what's cool about the Overwatch figures is they're also fairly new to the market. And last year at San Diego Comic-Con, they released an exclusive Reinhart where he had his unmasked face and he also had a camo skin. So it was pretty cool. I see no point for me opening that one unless I wanted the unmasked head because I have a Reinhart right here in front of me. So I'm going to, like, I've had him kind of like just like this cheering hammer, you know, right? Nothing crazy, but I'm going to put him with his shield, have him kind of chilling out. So give me 1 second while I put that all together. So we're going to take his hammer out because it's just going to bother us as we do things. Of course, got to have him standing up. Now, Reinhart, very important character in Overwatch. Why? Because he defends your team from incoming damage. Him being a tank, he also needs to take a lot of the threat away. So when you have this gigantic shield that goes out in front, you can easily block a lot of damage. So I wish his arm could like rotate more. It's kind of hard for you to see. So this piece right here, if it could rotate down, you could almost have like the shield facing more out, you know, have his arm kind of more out. But right now you're forced to have it here in order to have the shield flat. So, I mean, I can see why it's hard for them to do that based on how these joints are, because you only have this one joint and it's really tough. But if you could spin it, like if it was a ball joint, which I think would be kind of weird on an elbow, you could. But we're going to work with it. That's what we do. It's part of the job, you know. It's pretty intense work. Cool. So we have a shield on, and of course we have to put the insignia on as well for flavor reasons. Yep. That looks delicious, right? So here we are. Now his hammer, he's not doing anything when he's holding a shield, because if you also play Overwatch, you know that he can't swing his hammer and hold a shield at the same time. We're going to put this in there like that. I kind of want this like hammer kind of thrown back like that, yeah. Fan of that. I kind of like it with him kind of choking up on it. Makes it seem like he's like, I'm a fan of this right now. So right now there's no need for me to use these pegs because he's holding the shield himself. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't think he fits on this base. He does. Okay, once again, this would now, I think, where's Candy? Or here's Sugar Man. Let me use my amazing biceps and see which one's heavier. Definitely Reinhart. So we're going to put Reinhart. Now officially is the breaking the record for the heaviest figure on my spinning base from Amazon. We're going to press go. Here we go. Wow. That, surprised. I felt like it was going to go really poorly, but it didn't. But I want to adjust this shield. It's kind of crooked. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. Let me get some cool pans of this. So I remember I was messing with this Reinhardt when I first got him, and I don't like the way his hands are. But he's obviously such a big character that it's tough to kind of move him around. You see these really exaggerated shoulder guards, and so it's really hard to move his arms around. I wanted both hands on the hammer, like swinging at the same time, but you can't really do that. But this one's cool. I think in, like, as far as like a figure display, I don't like the shield because it blocks so much view out of the way. Like if I was posing him, like I'd almost want to be from the side, because if I have this giant blue banner or shield in the front, then it's like I can't even see what's behind the shield. Because of course, for all my Overwatch fans, then you know that everyone's supposed to be behind Reinhardt. You don't go in front of Reinhardt, you die. right? That's how you lose team fights. If I could make a figure that hasn't been made yet, or remake one that was made poorly, who would it be, and what would they come with? That's an interesting question. Like the question is a good one in the fact that I want to say something that like deserves attachments, right? So, like for example, I find this figure poorly made in my hand, but would it be the one that I would choose for this question? No, I think it's okay. I would want to think of something else. You know, I haven't gotten a good Carnage that is a 6-inch scale, in my opinion. So they're like probably a few years ago they did Marvel Selects. They still do them, but not as often. And it's a 7-inch scale from Marvel. And they also do Marvel Legends, which is a 6-inch scale, which more people want. Well, they did a Carnage for the Marvel Selects, so the bigger ones, and it just like it was really wonky. It was cool because I get all the attachments, everything like that. It was a really cool figure, highly detailed, great paint, everything, like amazing sculpt. And then they turn around probably about a year or two later, and they did it for Marvel Legends. Not a fan of it at all. I thought it was really bad. It was like really like they didn't put texture on the body. They simply just kind of painted red and black spots, and it didn't look good. So I think if I were to ask for a figure to be redone, I would ask for a 6-inch scale Carnage because they've done great Venoms. And for example, I'm a huge fan of Venom, and they have this one, which I refuse to open, of course, and a bunch of attachments. But I want a Carnage that matches this guy, right? I want the same comic book style from the 90s, like the McFarlane run, and I want my Carnage next to this Venom. Then I might open it. But Carnage is such an interesting character because you want a bunch of attachments. You want like the big like axe hand and like the kind of tentacles like flying around everywhere. And I think that's what makes him a really cool character as far as like displaying purposes as well, is because you can have so much character just coming off of him without having to do too much. So what they've been doing recently with all like the symbiote stuff is they have been adding like shoulder, like I'll use the word flares or just kind of like tentacles that kind of come out. But I would love to see like one where it would be interesting if like it was almost a diecast figure. Diecast like isn't my favorite, but then like the tentacles were like magnetic, so you could put them anywhere you want without having holes all over your figure. That'd be kind of an interesting way of doing it, because it could be so free flowing and it allows for people to do so many different things. So yeah, to answer the question, I think Carnage would be a really cool one in a 6-inch scale. Does it have to be a Marvel Legend? I don't think so. It could be anything. Like, I mean, I know that if Bandai did one, I think they may have done one before. I'm not sure. It'd probably be like, really awesome. But even that, they don't get a lot of attachments in that one. But I would want a bunch of like as much as I could. So let me go to the next guy. See what else I got. So that was Reinhart. See, I'll try to show you. Like, I can't move these arms in a way that like. Yeah, see, I can't put this dude. I can't get his left hand on the hammer at the same time as the right hand because I'd want him like swinging it around, but that's not going to happen. So for now, I'm going to cry to myself and live with what I got. Let me put these like that. On to the next one, which will be, we have the Anne Hathaway Catwoman, and then we have this other Batman I found. And this Batman doesn't have a cape, which makes me happy because if I'm so bad at this, the cape would only make my life worse. So we're going to have a Batman and Catwoman fight. I'm going to see if I can fit them on the stand at the same time. That would be really interesting, but with my luck, it's not going to happen. So kind of want him. I just assume everyone's a righty, so I'm just immediately going to like start working on these weird stances. Maybe I'm going to try to have like his left hand like on her shoulder, like getting ready to like punch her. So this guy's kind of weird. DC just doesn't have great figures. I wish there was like an extra hand I could put here that was more like fist-like. He has this cool holster for this grappling gun. I assume it's a grappling gun. That probably goes there. But it seems out of place with this weird blocky style. But hey, everyone has their own opinion. Mine are just better than yours, right? Okay, we're going to leave it like that. And then, of course, this isn't the Chris Nolan Batman we all know and love. But we're going to live with it because that's what I got for you. So this figure is kind of cool. Her arms are so skinny. You're welcome for answering your question. Of course, I loved it. Her arms are insanely skinny and like really small, but it's kind of interesting. I feel like I could like break it so easily because I'm so strong. Um, her goggles don't. I don't want to force them down. I don't think they go down very easily. I'm not gonna force that. I can't tell if like they come out. Yeah, they look glued in. I give up on that part. So I'm gonna leave her goggles up. I thought like when I first saw the movie, I thought the idea of having like the goggles that flipped up that look like cat ears is just such like an ingenious, like just a really cool placement to kind of put cat ears and give them purpose. That's what I thought was so awesome about the Chris Nolan Batmans was just that like you take these real life situations and you can make them like look so real, like anyone could do it, right? I think that's what's great about like modern superhero movies is that they just take. I think Luke Cage might have done it best if you've seen the Netflix one where you look at his costume when he originally showed up, and you're like, there's no way they could put that on the screen. And it's like this like silver headband with this like big flared shirt and like these flared jeans, and you're just like, that is like definitely like he's going to the disco and he's going to dance the night away. And if you saw it, there was an opportunity where he like grabbed some clothes off the clothesline and stuff like that, and he like put those ones on for the brief 5 minutes, and it was really cool to be able to see how they mix that in. So I like her ears for that reason because they have a utility. Um, I wish I could like let's see like that. So if I put his hand there, I'm gonna try to put like her hands maybe on his arm, like trying to like stop him, you know. Gosh, I see people do these like dynamic poses, and I don't know how they do it. Um, this is a gruesome Batman. If I can get this right. So his shoulder joint doesn't go up very high. So I wish I had a figure stand on this one because I would. Let me do it like this. I'm going to steal a figure stand. I know I talked earlier about saying that figure stands shouldn't be used, but I'm so bad at this that I think I just need to. So here we have a Bandai figure stand, and we're going to make this thing pop off. So cool figure stand about this one is that like you have this like adjustable bracket in the middle, and I can zoom in closer and show you. But okay. Weird. She does not want to stay. Okay, I'm not doing great, but I'm getting better, if I do say so myself. This figure stand is not as good as I thought it was. Come on, world, let me plug your items. Because I know, like, there's a bunch of different attachments I can get for this thing that I'm not currently using. Because the thing I had on before it didn't necessarily need it. Okay, so I kind of have them, like, she'll be able to get up higher now that I fixed this. And again, I'll show you in a second like, what you can do. Okay, we're almost there. This is a home stretch, people. Home stretch. Okay, I'm happy with this. We're gonna see if it fits on the stand. This is the test, right? This is not the heaviest thing, so don't get your hopes up that it's like gonna break. I know Derek wants it to break. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get our party going. Okay, so obviously we've been able to create a successful thing where they're actually gonna stand on there. Now I'll kind of show you guys the pose, and I'll show you some stuff about the stand as well. So this stand's cool. You have this big wide hexagon where I can move this to any part, move it around. I think you can also connect other stands with it as well, or have two of these connected to the same stand where I could have the Superman and Bizarro kind of flying in the air around each other. So right here you have this like little plastic ladder, and that you have all these little ridges you can fit into. That way it will like no matter how much weight you put on top, it's gonna like stay there. And then here it's really hard to see because it's all clear. Little clip, I can push that in or out, and that's going to allow this top like claw to tilt or not tilt. So I think it's cool. Would recommend the stance. Honestly, really cheap. The only problem is you have to build it yourself. But I mean, if you need glasses, I put them on because it's kind of hard to read the numbers. But let's go ahead and look at this Catwoman and Batman. So Batman, love this face sculpt really well. Honestly, I would like take this like head and I would just put on like every other Batman because I think it's fantastic. I think it would look cooler if he did have a cape, but personally, like, does he really need a cape? I don't know. Chris Nolan made it really useful, I thought, and I think it's cool in other movies as well. I kind of have him like trying to like hold her and like she's trying to let go, which I wish I could get this hand closer, and I think if I tried longer, I could, most definitely. But yeah, I think it's a cool one. Not the best, but honestly, I think I'm getting better with your help, of course. So let's go ahead and let's look at some comics. I haven't really looked at comics yet. I've only been showing toys. Now, of course, here at Rockets, we do have comics, toys, and games. We hit all three right on the mark. We have all kind of games. We have D&D stuff. We have mostly Magic the Gathering. And then we also have Pokemon. We don't do Yu-Gi-Oh! And we do hold big tournaments for Magic all the time. But like I said, we can't right now because of everything going on. So let's go ahead and start with... let's do this one. Because this is a... I'd say a tribute. So right here, I have a Walking Dead 193. Let me take out the plastic. Interesting story about this book. It was a surprise to the entire comic book community, right? So this would be the last San Diego Comic-Con, the more recent one. On Diamond, when you were ordering your Walking Dead books, you could have ordered 194 and 195, right? But all of a sudden, they out of nowhere go, okay, here's 193. It's a bigger book than we like told you it was, and it's the last issues of the series. And everyone was like, what? Like, how? Like, that makes what? Like, it was just stunning, right? Like, because you expected to probably go to at least like 200, right? Your people have like put their orders in for 94 and 95, but also 193 comes out, and it's the 94 and 95 issues all together in this one book. So that was genius on their part because they took a book that essentially would have been ordered like normal, but then made it like fairly exclusive to the idea that like you don't realize what's in this issue, and it's the very end of The Walking Dead. So the one I have for you is special in the sense that this is a Comic-Con exclusive. Does it say how many? I don't know how many were printed. I want to say it's like 3,000 or something like that. That are these purple ones. The normal one is like an orange cover. This one is also signed by Robert Kirkman, the writer of Walking Dead, the creator. I didn't actually get to meet Robert Kirkman. It would have been cool if I could have. But these ones, we had a whole stack, and we basically gave the box to CGC, and they gave the books to Robert, signed them, and then they got sealed in this. Obviously, it's 9.8. Anyone doesn't know about grading, 9.8 is the pretty much like the best you can get as far as grading books, but there are 9.9s and there are 10s. Those are just like immaculate issues, completely immaculate. I also love The Walking Dead. Sadly, I have not caught up via the AMC series. I watched like the first season of Fear the Walking Dead. I stopped after that, and then with the normal Walking Dead, I watched up to the Whisper people. I started like I got that far, and then I stopped after that. Like I just fell off. I didn't have the time. But I'm gonna go really quick because I'm almost out of the time myself. Really cool book. Again, I told you the backstory behind it. They had Comic-Con exclusives. What's kind of funny is that obviously they knew that this was going to be popular at the convention, so that they themselves had 193 graded with CGC, and they sold 193 of them, which is kind of cool. It's like very flavorful, which I'm always a fan of flavor, as you can tell with licking hammers and everything. It's an interesting way they did the exclusive because they made it such a surprise that no one was expecting, and now I have one in front of me. Pretty cool. Again, this is on our eBay store, TCS Rockets 15, if you're interested. And I can always send you more pictures if you want to see more. I might have some 9.6s as well, but I think I have like multiple 9.8s. But CGC is a great company. Thoroughly enjoy working with them. I actually just sent an invoice off the other day to them. These are just nice people. I'm on my last few minutes here, so I'll give my goodbyes. But again, so my name's Chase. I work at TC's Rockets. I'm also the manager here, and my father is the owner of the store. We, as I said, we have comic events, we have in-store signings, we have toys. We don't do anything exclusive like that with comics or toys yet. But then, like the most important thing of all, I think, is that we have a comic convention as well that we hold annually. And it's sad that I wasn't able to have this for sale, but this is our exclusive book right here. You can see our RocketCon logo, and this was supposed to release at our 2020 convention, but sadly it didn't happen. It is the Blip Comic Con, or the comic convention, and yeah, so now it has this like really cool Transformers cover that I can't do anything with because I don't have the convention for it. But it's okay. They'll be at the next one if you're there in 2021 here in San Diego. We have one of the largest comic stores in SoCal, 8,000 square feet. Absolutely wonderful. Would love to have you. And I mean, that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, message me, tcsrockets@gmail.com, and I'll always answer your questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Have a good day.